guys, welcome to my channel.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Got Randy back here again.
Yes. Glad to be here as usual. Good to be here, and we welcome into our discussion, I guess. Today's gonna be a little bit different. This is what's been taking so long for us to actually get this other discussion out. But yeah, I've been going through everything that you guys have been putting out there and suggestions, and I've had to go and just to cross-reference everything to get this correctly stated to you, I guess. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with my statement, and then I'm going to let Tiff fill in the little bit of blanks here or explain it a little bit better. So anyways, I want to start out by saying that a witch hunt, this about NK, actually. There was a person that was trying to contact the police department about why NK hasn't been charged with anything. And the comment from this detective was, well, this isn't a witch hunt, and once Chris had once I gotta quit that. Once it confessed, the detective said the case over. We have who we need, and it's done, and this is not a witch hunt. So I get that. But what I'm saying is I don't believe this is a witch hunt. This is just a way to intellectually reason how she hasn't been charged with something. So I've been taking my time reading everybody's comments, and like I said, going and cross-referencing everything. And I found out, number one, when this detective said this is not a witch hunt. Okay, Tiff, you got to tell me if I'm wrong or not on this, but isn't with an officer in that capacity of his field, and this is where I'm picking up on this female vibe from a lot of you viewers, that's in itself, he doesn't care. It's like, no, wouldn't the real thing to be looking at, and I feel she should be charged with at least obstruction of justice.
Yeah.
Okay?
I agree.
Obstruction of justice.
But wait, what did the person say about NK to the cop that he said that? What was she saying? Did she have some kind of evidence, or what was she saying?
She was actually just asking for information why NK hasn't been.
Okay.
She was wanting to go to the police, which she did. She went to the police department, and everything was, annotated. And this is why I'm making this comment. And I've got the detective's name, and I'm sure, guys, if you want to, you can go and search yourself. But I'm not going to give that information out. But I do know, as far as what I've covered and researched, I feel to be 100% accurate, and in my belief, the truth. So therefore, I feel I'm going to be giving out true statements here today. But at the same token, Zav Girls channel is not affiliated or does not agree or endorse anything that I say, because this is all me just speaking about what I feel, what I see is the truth. Okay? And that's it in a nutshell. So, obstruction of justice, that carries a pretty damn heavy fine. Okay? The severity can be different. It ranges anywhere from a felony, a serious felony charge, down to misdemeanor. And now what she has done was obstructing justice to the capacity to where legal law enforcement agencies could not fulfill their job properly.
Yeah.
And this is a true factual statement from evidence that I've seen. So,
well, explain why we think obstruction of justice is because she deleted all those text messages, which could have been some kind of evidence, or could have been used to help, even against Chris or against her or anything. But for her to delete them, that's like interfering with some of the evidence that would have been used as evidence, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly.
So, and I know a lot of people have said, well, at the time there was no crime committed when she deleted them, I guess, on that Tuesday, but they were missing. You know, they already knew that there was a missing persons report already out, and they were already, you know, searching for her. They knew she was missing when she deleted them. So that, I mean, she interfered with trying to find a missing person. You know what I'm saying? So she did interfere with the crime.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because a missing person is, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
And that's going to be, you know, that would carry the heaviest fine. And here's what I'm saying when I say no witch. This isn't a witch hunt. This is a hunt for justice. It's just justice. This is something that I feel every human being is entitled to have, Tiff, is to be able to live your life happy and having that secure feeling that if you need to find justice somewhere, you're going to find it. You know, and am I wrong? Am I making sense on this? I feel that everybody's entitled to that, to live a carefree life and not have to worry about being wronged by your justice being taken away from you.
You know, I mean, at least they need to, like, maybe give her a polygraph. Look, they gave Chris a polygraph, you know, at least to clear her name. They need to, you know, maybe then she will be cleared. You never know, but at least they need to do a little bit further so then we all of us that have all these questions could stop questioning it. Either she, you know, we'll find out that she didn't do it or that she did, but at least, you know, we'll have some kind of answer, don't you think?
Okay. Now, when you say the polygraph, and I did say back in the last video, man, why aren't they giving her a polygraph? Well, thank God for all of you viewers that are putting out there. See, I wasn't thinking at the time because I was just enraged about the whole situation. Yeah, you can't force somebody to take a polygraph.
I know. I know it's volunteer. That's what I'm saying. But, like, at least they could ask her. And then that would kind of give us, you know, how she responds might kind of... Because if she says no, then, you know, okay, they need a further investigator. Hopefully she'll say yeah. But if she says no, then maybe they should look into it further. Because why is she saying no? If she has nothing to hide, at least they should ask her to take one. They asked Chris to take one. I haven't heard anything about them asking her to take one. Why didn't they ask her?
Well, true.
You know, I know they can't make her, but they could ask her.
I mean, they might have, and it just never showed up on the discovery files, which that's another thing we're going to cover today, too. But see, the polygraph...
That would give you some kind of doubt, like, wait, why is she not willing to take a polygraph?
Well,
that to me is a red flag.
Yeah, but see, you got to understand too, which a lot of viewers have made me understand as well, because like I said, I wasn't thinking clearly at the time we had posted that video or made that video. When you polygraphs, they, you know, you could be 100% in the right and you didn't do a daggone thing, but you still have that possibility of coming up because you're scared or nervous or whatever, or whoever's giving the polygraph. It could come up bad.
Yeah, but they're not admissible in court, so it's not like that in itself is going to be enough to charge her.
It doesn't matter, but then that's when you come up to a witch hunt, because all of a sudden she screwed up on that polygraph. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not trying to have her back at all whatsoever.
So what do you suggest?
What I'm saying is, no, I'm just saying I don't feel a polygraph would be appropriate. I would not want to take one if I was in that situation as well, because yeah, you want to get your name cleared, but I wouldn't go about taking a polygraph because the viewers are right. You're running that risk of taking a chance
of course,
coming.
But if you don't have anything to hide, it should. I know there's errors, but
not by polygraph.
But what?
I guess.
So then, what do you want them to do then? I'm confused. That would be their first step, like they did with Chris.
You know what? Okay. What I want them to do is what I thought they were doing. Remember in the last video we said it's going to take time. You know that it's not over. Well, I'm going over everything. You know what? It's been 3 weeks now since the last video that we made. 3 weeks?
No, last week. Yeah.
2 weeks.
No, just 1 week.
No.
It's 2 weeks because
2 weeks.
Yeah.
14 days. You know, no. It's been long enough. From what I've seen, no, they they should be doing something now for obstruction of justice. That's
Yeah, but
the
then,
point.
okay, they get obstruction of justice, then what? Where do they go from there? That's it then?
I would be happy with her at least being punished.
Okay, just
You
that.
know?
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Where are you going with this? That's,
The maximum
you just
punishment,
wanted that charge, and that's it.
I would be happy. I would be happy. Not completely happy, but I'd be satisfied. Then I can finally say justice is still here, you know. But for
Then we got to figure out why why did she do that?
well, no, all right. Well, Holly Yellow, okay. She said it, summed it up. You know why she did this. She's just a typical side chick. You know, she's just in a little, yeah. She just wants,
No, but why did she delete the text? Is what I'm talking about.
Oh, because she knew that she manipulated him and that she was playing right along. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is,
All right, so
you don't think. So you're saying you don't think she's involved. You just think she's obstruction of justice.
No, I think she's involved.
Oh,
but the
okay,
thing is, though, is it's going to be so hard with Chris with it confessing already for them to just. Which I still feel that they should have done something.
And you're allowed to. I know. I mean, we've seen like cops and FBI agents do this on different interrogations where they could actually lie and say they have some kind of evidence when they don't, to try to get it out. Why can't they go into Chris, interview him, and say, "MK already confessed. We know she was involved. So why'd you lie?" And kind of lie just to see what he says. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to try to get him out. Try to get it out of him. Why couldn't they do something like that?
Because you're playing more of a weird ass game.
But you're allowed
with
to do that.
him.
They do that stuff all the time.
Yeah,
Do they
it's
get
just a
like
lot
false confessions out? Well, they do get false confessions. But I think I don't know.
That's why I say.
So you just want an obstruction of justice, and then you don't think. So you think she is involved, but you don't think she should be charged with anything else?
I think she should be charged with a conspiracy as well.
So then, where do you
crime.
start with that? You need maybe
You
a
start by at least
polygraph.
getting her ass charged with.
Yeah, and then
with
where do you go
obstruction.
with that? Is what I'm saying.
You just dig, and apparently everything that I'm seeing, first off, obstruction of justice, the felony charge. 10 years in prison. All right.
Okay.
I'll be all right with
max.
it. I'll be all right with it.
Yeah, okay. I didn't realize it carried that heavy of a...
For what she did, because she not only obstructed
I'd be happy
justice
with that,
by
yeah.
deleting these texts, she also obstructed justice by her playing her little female role. Now this is, in my opinion, this is not a factual statement. Because how she tried to manipulate the officers. Yeah, with that sweet, just girl demeanor, trying to charm people, because they were all guys. And she actually did manipulate these people. She did.
No,
she did.
I saw that,
and
yeah.
that's what another thing too, because there are so many cans of worms, Tip, that I just from the stuff that I've actually been going through these past 2 weeks, it's nuts. It's just nuts. But
what else you got there?
I've got all kinds. But I got to try and keep them here in order. But let's see. Content was saved. Attitude towards living. Yeah. Where's the with the police officers and law enforcement with these interviews, and like I said, for this guy, this one detective, for him to actually be his job, his capacity is to be concerned for justice, and instead, what's the first thing he says? This isn't a witch hunt. So what? Am I making any sense here?
Yeah.
He's not even worried about justice.
Yeah.
He's more worried about her. NK. Okay? You guys shouldn't witch hunt. You guys are. We're not doing that. We just want justice. So why do you gotta just use it as a female thing? It's like she has controlled, and she was a puppet master for these interrogations for these certain police officers. Not naming names. You guys can go and look at it yourselves. But it's there. Okay? It's just in that aspect, there's another type of obstruction of justice. Okay, so there's 2 charges. 3. Because remember how I told you there's always these little other charges? Dude, there's so many levels of obstruction of justice that this woman has done. So and it's been 2 weeks. I haven't seen anything. Have you? Have you seen her being charged or brought in to be questioned about anything? I haven't. So let's do this. Let's get it. Let's get her in. That's another thing. People are commenting, she's in a witness protection program. And I don't see anything at all that tells me that she's in a witness protection program.
Did you read those texts, though?
I did read those texts. You know what those texts tell you? Those texts tell you that the officer wanted her to contact the Victim Advocates Program. Victim Advocates Program, my understanding, is a program to where at the time people come across as a victim because of the situation or because of what has happened, the situation. So therefore, okay, Victim Advocates Program, they're going to give you counseling. They're going to help you deal with this. And they did the same thing with it. When it was talking on the phone to the detective, he was writing on his paperwork, Victims Advocate Program, Chris Watts. And I'm sorry I say his name.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Yes, they at first, before they even found out that Chris had confessed to killing.
Oh, you're talking about before? Okay, I thought
yeah,
you
just
knew him,
but that night, the officer's writing stuff down, and up in the corner of the paperwork, you can see Victim Advocates Program. All right, so they were going to try and get him therapy. So that's all that was with NK.
No, I'm talking about the new NK where she's talking about the Witness Protection Program. Did you not read the new texts?
I read the new text.
About how they're talking about the Witness Protection Program and changing her name and stuff?
All I seen was them ask about that, and that was it. It was nothing else about... No, they were talking about Hazel. They're definitely... The officer does not comment on the Witness Protection Program. The officer does comment, we'll get you in touch with Hazel. She will help you.
But isn't that regarding the Witness Protection Program, though?
No. Hazel is basically going to be therapy for her. That's what
they're
more
but maybe
she's
going to get... Actually, will you pull that up, the text, though? And then, okay. I'm just going to try to find those texts real quick.
Yeah, like I was saying, I don't think... I have not seen anything factual that even...
It doesn't say for sure, but it hints that maybe she's looking into it and
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to get across to the viewers. Don't process it like this, guys. Don't think...
So you don't think there's any chance that she is?
No. There is no way. There's no way. And if she is, then that is even a bigger part of our justice system that is not right, and it has to be addressed and taken care of. I'm sorry. There's no way. There's no way she could be in there. No, not at all. I mean, yeah, it sucks if she didn't do anything, but except for being a homewrecker, that's it just sucks. But that does not entitle her to be in the witness program. No. Protection.
No, I don't think it entitles. No. I don't think she should be in it at all.
I don't think
that's not fair.
I pray that our legal system does not even try to even think about putting her there, because you can't.
But what if she manipulated? You're saying she manipulated the cops to somehow talking her way into getting it.
Right, and this is what I'm saying. Something should have been done, or we should have heard something by now. And this is why I'm. Well,
we wouldn't know if they're witnessing. They're not going to tell us she's in it. That's the whole point, to keep it secret.
No, I'm not talking about that. No, there's no way she's not going to be put in no damn witness protection program. No.
But you don't think how she manipulates it?
Because there's going to be people out there that are not males that are going to see through her.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's fair either. But that's what made me kind of upset. If there's even a possibility that she's in the witness protection program, that makes me mad. And this is why I'm trying
to let the viewers know. Don't
I'm just trying to
process
look for
it like that, because it'll
here.
infuriate you. Make you even more pissed off and mad. Don't view it as that. Don't process it like that. And this is another thing too. This is why we said, good to step away from this once in a while, because it also gives you, as the viewers, the opportunity, when you step back to breathe, it gives you the opportunity to get away from the ugly, gruesome details of this case and actually go and look at the facts. This way it just puts you at a peace of mind, actually. And this is how you got to process it. You have to process it by the facts and not by what you might catch on another person's channel or Tiff's channel. You got to do this for yourself, because you have to process it the way you see it. And the best way to process anything is by the truth, by what you feel is totally actual and proven truth. That's everything in a nutshell, really. Like I said, in the last video, man, that's when I stepped back, because I was like, because I forgot, we were so mad and upset and disgusted about that horrific tragedy that we lost focus on what we really was setting out and intended to do, and that was to find the facts
right here,
and to get her justice. Get justice for
here
us.
We go, right here.
And the family.
Right here, Rand. I would like to introduce you to the lead detective and cover anything else you want to talk about. Also speak with you about witness protection and name changes info.
Okay.
So we don't know then what the conversation was.
That statement right there was to bring her in. That's to draw her in. Okay?
But then why? Then what do they want to draw her in? And then what are they going to do?
As you see in these texts, prior to... Well, that's something that we would like to think that they are bringing her in under these false pretenses, like you were talking about. Remember?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is now that's more speculation you're doing than what they're saying. You're saying, they're bringing you in for false pretenses. Why can't it be they're bringing them in because that's what they said?
This is not a false pretense to me. This is how I am going to process this, okay? Because I don't see anything.
Well, then they talked about it. They don't talk.
You don't
that's
know
all.
They talk about
yeah,
it.
But you don't know they didn't. He said we're going to bring you in to talk to the lead detective about it.
Her responses on all these texts and his responses, you see the type of where she is trying to get this guy to go.
Yeah, and he went, and then he's like, "Fine, yeah, well, you'll talk to the lead detective." So he agrees to it. So then who knows when he comes? Yeah, and then they
comfortable to bring her in, because
but she's the one that wants to come in for herself. The case is already closed. She
doesn't want to come in for herself, or
no, but for the witness to try to figure out stuff that.
I don't know. But they're not going to even cover that ground.
How do you
impossible.
Know that,
how can they give her witness protection?
I know it doesn't make sense. That's why everybody's mad. Why would he even? Why would he even make a statement like that if they weren't even thinking about it?
I know, Tiff, but what I'm trying to say is, why even process it like this? Process it to where what you see. Okay,
what I see is, they said we're going to talk about this. That's what I'm processing, what I read.
All right. Do you see him?
But there's only text, and then they talk about it. They're not going to talk about so many issues over text. Then she comes in. Obviously, she goes in, and then they talk about it. Whatever they talk about, we don't know. If she was accepted to the witness, hopefully she wasn't, because that's a waste of money that should be provided to other really real witnesses that need that protection. But why? That's what's making everybody mad. Why does she get that? Why were they even even entertaining that thought to come in? We'll talk about it.
Right. If this police officer is doing anything correct for the justice system, the legal system, in his capacity, he is bringing her. He's using that to bring her in unsuspiciously, to just feel her out more, And this is how I'm processing that, because, and that's another thing too, that's what I'm saying. Everything that I've seen so far, something should have came out, and something should have been mentioned.
Nobody's going to, the witness protection program is secret. They're not going to tell us if she's in it. I'm not talking about the witness protection program.
I'm talking about the obstruction of justice, a charge against her. A charge against her. Because you cannot put somebody in a witness protection program when they're just because
That's what
they're
we're all trying to say. That's why
okay,
we're so upset
that's
about
what I'm
it.
saying. I
Because
don't
it's
see
not
anything
fair.
that shows any proof whatsoever that she has been given a witness.
But they
protection.
were talking about it. She came in to talk about it. That's all we're saying. So it's
So
not for sure, but they maybe. He says, "Come
And
in. We'll
that's-
talk about. I'll
right.
introduce you to the lead detective, so we can talk about
Okay.
the witness
And that's-
protection
that's all
program."
I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying is that there's a possibility that she is in it because of what she came in and they talked about it.
All I'm saying is
just
I can't process it like that, because if I do, I am going to be so pissed. And I won't be able to think clearly.
Well,
I won't be able to
let's
get
just
things
talk.
done.
Okay, let's talk. Let's move on to the next thing. Then.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
well, no,
just don't let
no,
it
I'm just saying-
upset. But yeah, I
That's
mean,
what I'm trying to say. Don't let this bother you guys.
but we're all
Don't-
trying to figure this stuff out, and that's one of the
Yeah,
keys of
I
evidence
get
that we
it.
have is that she did go in there to talk about that. Well, at least that's what he said: is come in, I'll introduce you to my lead detective about the witness protection program and about name changes.
Okay.
That's all the info we have. So it makes us, the people reading this, like, did she go in there? Did they talk about it? Did she get accepted? It makes you have those questions. And then in turn makes you very upset that they're even entertaining that thought, because I'm sorry, she shouldn't be in it. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you gotta admit that
It seems like, yes, if you read that, yeah, you'd be like, oh, are you
yeah,
kidding?
so I mean, you
But
never
if you
know.
process it, if you read it and process it in a different manner,
Okay.
in the manner that you would like to think, you know,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
going to
it
be
doesn't
okay.
make sense. It
It's going to be
doesn't,
okay. But
all
when
right,
but at the same token, though, something should have been done by now to where
that's what that's our whole point, that we're mad because something isn't done.
Yeah,
but I don't know. But that's good. We disagree on that.
Exactly. Good. There you go, guys. That's what this is all about, Nooch. That's what this is about. And I love it. And I'm just trying to get my opinion on this one across. Don't process stuff in a bad way. Try to just understand or reason a little bit to where something could possibly come of something, or something, but don't just defiantly say, okay, man, she's in that witness protection program, or defiantly not say that she's not in it, because I'm saying I don't see how she could be in it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. We don't see how.
Right. So,
but
what really does infuriate me, and it's not even that. It's just how our justice has been just devastated from this person, and nothing's been done yet, point blank. And that to me is to process it like the only way you can.
Let's get to the next topic here.
Yeah,
I think we're done with that one.
Not done.
I mean, done with that.
Yeah.
What else? He's got like a bunch of notes. I don't have.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just gonna. He said he's going to kind of lead this discussion, and I'll just, give my opinion.
NK's phone bill, Verizon phone bill. This is another thing that really is starting to upset me, and this is why I feel something should have been done by now. But anyway, her phone bill, the phone call, yeah, okay. In the discovery file, it shows a 59-minute call from NK to it. This is before. Now, if Shanann, God rest her soul, if her plane would have landed at that time, at the normal time, and not been delayed, they would have just got off that phone. Anyways, if you look at that, there's a phone conversation for 111 minutes, right? So these guys are talking. I mean, it's just. But yeah, they talk. And Shanann, she was in Arizona. That's the same time zone. It's only like an hour flight from Arizona to Colorado, if that. Yeah. So he knew that she was going to be there soon, if anything, maybe an hour, 2 hours late. So in this discovery, it's like, what's he tell her? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, thank you. So on. Let's see. The phone data information begins on of discovery on pages 2081. It ends. I'm sorry, page 2081. And ends at 21:30 hours on Sunday night, August 12th. So NK got a phone call from it for 111 minutes. I mean, 111 minutes, Tiff, at 9:28 p.m. on Sunday night, the night of the
I know.
murder.
That's
Okay.
why everybody's like, wonder what they talked about.
Yeah. Well,
And she didn't give him anything. She just said, "Oh, we talked so much, I don't even remember." It's
Yeah.
like, come on, a 2-hour conversation, you have to remember something. And then he texts Shanann like, "Oh, sorry, I fell asleep. I just woke up." Like, but he was really on the phone with NK that whole time.
Yeah, you know it. I mean, that's proof. It shows you. Now, that does beg that brings up the question: what were they talking about? All right. Well, you got to delve into their psyche. You see what each person is like. So I get.
Well,
what do you think?
It just depends if she's involved in this. Because if she's involved with this, I'm sure it had a lot to do with the situation. If she's not, then I don't know. But like, if she was involved in any way, then maybe it has something to do with the plan, like what they were going to do. That's what people were wondering. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like right before it happened. It's right before where like she would have been home like right then. So
yes, yeah.
So then that does make you wonder. If NK knew she was supposed to be home at 11 and they were on the phone, what then was she not? Then maybe she wasn't over there. Unless if even Mommy Ramblin said something about this, where you could just call, leave it on. She could be at her house, call, and then just leave her phone there and go. You know what I'm saying? And then they hang up in like 2 hours to give her an alibi. Sure. Sure. I don't know though. I mean, but go ahead. What were you going to say about it?
You're right.
I mean, it's possible, and then her GPS wouldn't show her phone there. If she's already like thinking about text messages, can cops trace text messages? I'm sure she's looked up somewhere about like, well, it's common sense with the GPS on phones that they could see where you've been. If she's looking that far, I mean, she would want to keep a phone there if she was over here. And then that fact that that neighbor, I did watch that Armchair Detective about that neighbor saying how she saw a gray truck that was parked in Chris's spot.
That sweet little lady.
She's so cute. I love her.
She reminds me of your grandma.
Which one?
Rita, actually.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah, that's cute.
But yeah, it does make you wonder because she said it was like a steel gray. Was NK's truck gray? I don't know for sure, but I feel like people were saying maybe.
See, I don't know.
But anyway, so she said that morning, but she could have got him confused. You never know, because at first she said the one morning, they said no, it was that morning. So in her memory, she says she remembers that truck being there the night of the murders, the morning, being in Chris's spot at 5:15 a.m. But the thing is Chris's truck was there at 5:15, wasn't it? Or did he move up and she pull up? I don't know, because she said it was in his spot. But then she says that because everybody was thinking, like when she said that morning of the murders, that she was going to the gym and seen Chris's truck. But then in that interview, that's what Armchair Detective points out, that she didn't say it was that morning. She said it was that Tuesday morning, that either Monday or Tuesday morning, whenever the interview. No, it would be Tuesday morning that she saw Chris's truck at 5:15 going to the gym. But it was almost like she wasn't for sure, because she was like, well, no, it was yesterday morning. I don't know. So that means, was he the next morning he had it on at 5:15? Because I don't think he went to work the next morning. So I'm not sure about that whole situation. I mean, but go ahead.
She does.
Why did you close your nose?
Oh no, I've got another one there.
Oh, okay.
Silly. You salute. But yeah, no, she brings up a good point. Yeah, she did see that truck sitting out there, and
a
that
gray,
was it. Yeah,
steel gray, and she said it was parked where Chris's truck normally is. That's what she kind of described. So at 5:15, or when she went to there's two different things, but it was early that one time. Remember, she said, or did she say? Man, I forget what time. I know she said it was there up until right before the cops came that day, and then it was gone before they got there. So, I don't know. That would mean that truck would have been there like for hours, just sitting there. Yeah. So maybe it wasn't actually in that spot, because wouldn't we have? I don't know. It just, something doesn't make sense about that for some reason. Yeah. So it was parked there for, I don't know.
Yeah,
because because NK was actually at work at that time. That was so. unless Jim had her car. I don't know. It's just there's so many weird things about this case, and how people are like really digging into it, finding out like all these little weird things that are going on that just don't make sense.
That's and that's why I say we really do, because there's so much crap that we can tear apart.
I know,
and
that's
just
the thing.
Assume.
There's so much video footage and interviews.
Yes, definitely. Like I said, we can assume, but these are other notes here too. This is from previous stuff.
Well, what was the other notes on that?
Oh,
you had a bunch. You turned it. You never.
No.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah. Oh, well. While I'm going through these and trying to get them organized again.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about covert narcissists. I know I'm gonna do some more research into it because I still am in the process of it, but I'm trying to relate, Chris to the covert narcissist to see how many traits he has, like if he he does. There are parts. Well, I would say there's more traits he does have to a covert narcissist than not. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Talk to me.
I don't know. Now I feel like I should wait till I get more information on it.
No. What you got?
So a covert narcissist is simply a narcissist who appears to be shy and very sensible, hypersensitive, and insists on it too. Okay, so how he's always like, I'm a quiet guy. He always talks about how he's an introvert. He's quiet, and he doesn't get too mad or too angry, or he doesn't get heated up, and he never lets it get to this level. He always just keeps it all calm, and you know what I'm saying.
He basically made sure that people know.
Yeah,
that about
think
him.
about the interviews. He made sure he told them that. Like when they said, "Why should we believe you?"
You're right.
Shoot.
Sorry.
Something just fell. Okay. Why should we believe it? He's like, because he had that whole thing planned out. Remember? He had Mommy Ramblins brought this up. Like, I think it was her channel brings this up where on all the other questions, he's like, and he's have all these like fragmented sentences, could barely even get out a full sentence. But when they asked him that, he had this big like couple-minute planned thing where he's like, I'm this guy that doesn't get too. I don't know the exact words. I probably shouldn't repeat it.
Yeah.
What does he
He's
say?
putting on a dating site or something.
Yeah, he's like, I'm this, calm guy. I don't, I don't like, conflict, or I don't even know the exact words, but I'm sure you guys all know that little thing that he says. Maybe I should put a little clip and play that part.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea.
And he has it it's like he memorized that little couple minutes about himself. But he's like, I don't let things get too, heated. He keeps it at like a nice even.
So calm, cool, relax.
So he made sure, and then also when he even says, and Kay even says, Chris is an introvert, and he told me that, he could actually be himself around me because, he's shy around other people, but he could actually talk and be himself, and he feels open. Remember, like she's so special. Like he could be himself, and he's never met anybody like her because he could actually, just... not be so shy, because normally he's so shy around everybody. So he obviously does make a point to let that known to people that he is this introvert and he is shy and he is, you know what I'm saying? So they say that they make it aware, like they insist on it too. So that's one thing that I found.
One of the traits of a covert narcissist.
Covert, yeah. But and they say they're actually worse. They're a worse monster than a usual narcissist. Because like well, what's different? Like a covert narcissist is they're introverted. They don't advertise their inflated egos, because a regular narcissist, they're like an example of a regular narcissist, or a regular narcissist is
my brother Tim,
Scott Peter. Well, I'm talking about somebody they would know. Well, Scott Peterson, I feel like would fall into. Remember Scott Peterson?
Yeah.
He would fall into like just the regular narcissist, because you could tell cocky and he's all about himself, ego, big head, so. But Chris just didn't appear to be one, because he's not like that typical, inflated ego type. He's the covert narcissist, where he's shy, introverted, where it's a little bit more dangerous because, for one thing, they're not easily recognized. I mean, people don't pick up on that because they're expecting like narcissists to be like that typical, narcissist
Sure.
that you would think with the big ego and stuff. So, let's see. They agree with statements like I'm temperamentally different. Remember, he's even like he doesn't get all worked up. He just he doesn't let it escalate into Remember, I gotta play that.
Are you telling me the truth? I am telling you the absolute truth. Why should I believe you? Because I am a very trustworthy person, and the people that do know me, they know how I'm a calm person. I am not an argumentative person. I am a person that's never going to be abusive or physical in any kind of relationship. I would never harm my kids. I would never harm my wife. You can talk to any of my friends, any of her friends. They know me. They know I'm a low-key guy that's quiet. I'm not about confrontation. I'm not about anything that elevates to that level. You can if someone yells at me, screams at me, I just take it and I just try to get it by the wayside and get it back to where it's just a cool conversation to where none of that gets to that height, because I am not that person. I've never been that person.
Okay, and that even when they're in a group of friends, they often feel alone and uneasy. And and NK and even Chris brings it up. Well, she was different. I could be myself around her. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, around a big group, he doesn't feel like that. He feels a little bit shy, introverted, where he can't be himself. So I think that kind of falls into
sociably awkward.
Yeah, and he makes people aware. Or makes people. Aware of that. That's the way he is. So what
I'm
else
just a
we
little
got?
teddy bear.
Yeah.
Love me. Wow.
And then this is kind of the same thing. They dangle their vulnerability right in front of you as bait, just waiting for your good nurturing and mothering or fathering instincts to kick in and rescue the poor little lost child they are presenting to you. Think about in Shanann's text how she's always like, oh, I was the only one that stuck up for you. Your parents, I protected you from your parents, and they've never done this. So obviously they've had to have conversations in the past where Chris has told her, my parents did this or my mom did this, because for her to have said, they never, I had to rescue from your parents, or I had to, stick up for you, something your parents never did, and they never took care of you, or they never, what was her? So right there, he obviously had that talk with,
spiel, dude.
So poor little lost child, she had to come rescue him, So that kind of makes, some of this stuff really, he falls right into it.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. Okay, so some of this stuff also is going to be people, the victims of narcissists. You know what I'm saying? So what Shanann would be to, where she fell. Okay, no. This is what I bring up. You know how she always says, and this is from this article that I read that actually was a clinical psychologist that actually worked with covert narcissists, okay? No. I lied.
No.
That worked with...
No lie.
No, that worked with victims of covert narcissists. So, people that were a victim to their manipulations, okay?
They were actually in a victim advocates program,
yeah, something
probably.
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the people would always tell them, their clients would tell them, the person was not usually my type. They're talking about the narcissist, okay? They're not usually my type, or I didn't even find them attractive at first. Think about how many times Shanann says, "Man, he wasn't my type. He was not my type at all."
Damn sympathy.
Yeah, no, because what they do, okay, this is what the covert, or any narcissist, covert or regular, because they're smart enough to know what you're looking for at the level of your core values and mold themselves to appear to represent what you're looking for, okay?
Damn.
So they, Chris probably knew from, maybe a couple conversations he had, and on her Facebook page, kind of realized how to manipulate her into falling for him, even though he was not her type, and he knew that, but he kind of manipulated her to make her think that he was kind of her type. You know what I'm saying? They say they're your core values. Well, they're smart enough to know how to do that. So when, the victims of these narcissists say, God, he wasn't usually my type. I don't know. I didn't even find him attractive at all. It's because they are doing that. The narcissists are so manipulated, or the narcissists manipulate so much that they're able to manipulate that person into liking somebody that they wouldn't normally fall for, And Shanann has said it, and if you look in some of her history, like, he was not her usual type.
So a narcissist actually sort of, in a way, let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm making any sense or if I'm wrong, they actually sort of plan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They plan how they are going to approach a person.
Yes.
And get into their lives like that.
Yep.
Wow. See, there we go, guys.
Yes,
see,
definitely.
I love this girl. This is why, I can safely say, okay, yeah, I know what a narcissist is, or a covert narcissist. I got the base, just the general assumption, basically, when I say that. And that's what I love, is learning this, just educating ourselves about this. You go, Tiff.
Well, okay.
Wow, that's nuts.
And so what makes a covert narcissist so dangerous is that you're brainwashed into thinking you're dealing with a human being, with morality, because they're not like what everybody thinks of a narcissist. Like, they're, so you just think it's some normal person with morals and that would care, actually
it's actually an animal,
and it's
a
like
beast.
Dangerous because you fall for him, and then it's let's see what else.
So how does a parent, and you get a lot of your viewers, saying, man, what can we do to prevent my daughter from running across a guy like this? I mean, any suggestions?
Man, that's the thing. Like, at least for a regular narcissist, you could kind of, pick them out, not always, but they're more like have the egos, inflated
cocky,
egos, cocky.
Yeah, okay.
So, but the covert narcissists, no. And that's why they're so dangerous, because they know how to manipulate and mimic what, you think You're looking for, or what, you want out of a relationship that you don't even know. That's what's so scary about this. Do you think Shanann had any idea? Do you think even if she did research, on narcissism, that she would still even think that? Because not all introverts are covert narcissists. So how would she even suspect that? I guess maybe he would have had some signs, maybe, but like, it's just they're so good at what they do that I don't know. No, maybe when I get into more research, I could have an answer. But as far as what I'm thinking, from what I know, there's nothing you could even know. And that's what's so scary. And that's why so many people related to this situation, because I think it scares people. I think it scares them to death, because it's like, oh my God, this seems just like my life, like something that, is so typical, and it's such a normal family. And so, like, if this could happen to this family, like, how do I know this person that's sleeping in bed next to me isn't capable of this? Because Shanann didn't, think twice. Besides maybe the last month or two, when after he started the affair, she started realizing. But that's the thing, though. Once a narcissist moves on to another, like, they call it like a supply, where they get their high off of
a supply.
Yeah, where they get a supply, they get their high like off of different situations. Okay, so once he made that a choice to move on to another victim, like, she didn't stand a chance. And this is another thing I want to show you. He turns into this different person, because he already found a new supply. He found NK. He doesn't need her anymore. Now she doesn't offer anything that he needs. None of that supply. So he starts injecting Shanann with self-doubt, anxiety, insecurity starts to work. It's okay. So when presented with the evidence of their lies, so when she started saying, what's going on, you're lying. When he started doing 180, or 360, I should say. So they follow this protocol of denial, contempt, reframing, reblaming, and shaming the person, okay? They will simply look dead in the eyes with no guilt or shame whatsoever, tell you that black is white and up is down. So think about that. He just looked she knew there's something. He just looked. I mean, think about how dead in the eyes he looked at after the interviews on the. Think of how his eyes looked after this whole thing happened. He was just like dead in the eyes, and I'm sure she saw that in him. You know what I'm saying? When she just said he came to North Carolina and he was just different. And they are completely comfortable about telling lies and do not feel remorse for the pain and emotional distress this clearly causes you. They stood by and watched me slowly. Okay, this is a quote by a victim, right? That's been abused by a narcissist. They stood by and watched me slowly lose myself to agony and despair and did nothing to help me. Think about when she's like, oh my God, he did nothing. I'm over here crying in the corner. Remember, she's telling her friends, like, in North Carolina, I'm here crying in the corner. He's not even acknowledging it at all. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm puking. He doesn't even care. He won't even help me. He won't make me feel safe. He won't even hold me. He won't do anything. He gets a supply off of her agony and despair. You know what I'm saying?
Misery loves company, huh?
Well, no,
sort of like that.
Kind of in a way, but they're a whole different breed than because that's misery loves company is like almost like a generalized thing for everybody, but like they operate in a whole different way. So you know what I'm saying? So like the mercy and compassion you would expect from a loved one is not there. So these techniques definitely heighten and provoke and accelerate feelings of loss in their victims, in the narcissistic victims. So like in Shanann, when they leave, and then they seem to really want you to feel the pain of loss in the relationship. Like he didn't help her tell her why, or didn't even care about how she was feeling. Think how this falls into how Chris treated her. Part of the strategy is to deny you any closure and to let you know that they moved on without a second thought for you, leaving you obsessively wondering, anxiously investigating and sifting through everything of the past like forensic detectives at a bomb site to see if any of it meant anything at all. So that's the thing, though. I mean, bottom line is he moved on. He found another supply for his
That just blows me away. For his satisfaction.
Yeah, for his satisfaction, for his gain. He found NK, so he had no use for Shanann or the kids because they weren't going to supply him with anything anymore. He moved on. He was going to go to NK, so he didn't have any use because what would Shanann or the girls bring to him? And nothing, because he was going to create a new family with NK and they were going to bring him all his supply is what I'm thinking, what his motive was. He had no use for them anymore. They didn't, he found a new supply. No, because he wanted usually they want to have kids to make it look like their supply comes from, they make it look like they're this great dad, and they get off on people thinking, oh, they're this great dad, and they got kids, and it makes them look better. But if he wants to move on to another, and have another family with the NK, he doesn't need that because he wants to create another family with her. Wow. And he doesn't even want that. It's like, get rid of the past. He wanted to start something new. So having that baggage, not my words, but like what he's probably thinking, that would just bring him down. He found a new supply, basically. It was NK, so he didn't want or need that for a supply anymore. He has to focus on NK now,
Damn. But the NK's actually playing the same thing too.
Yeah, you're right. She wants to replace. Yeah, she wants to get rid of that family too. As far as
moving to another state, who's next?
So Covert is shy, compliant, eager to please. They tend to confuse admiration or praise with love. So.
Also, somebody can tell them, hey, you're doing a good job, and they don't think that somebody's in love with them. Is that what you're saying? Or
like for instance, his mom could be, not giving him a real love, but kind of praising him for certain things that he's doing for her. Like if she brought him up like that, and then he's looking at it, that's
that's love. Yeah.
And this is another thing is. And then this falls along, I feel like, how he searched for Shanann. Search for someone to serve, to defer to, and to live through their achievements and successes. Just like how you were saying, how he,
Yes.
She was, she's achieved a lot in her life, and when he met her, she was already achieving a lot. She was already doing well, successful, and he found her, to live through her achievements and successes. And even as, their marriage even went on, he did. So.
And didn't he met her through Facebook?
Yeah, I think he said, I don't know, a friend of the family or family introduced, said you should ask her out. Somebody's friend and somebody's family. I forget exactly the details, but
Cole met him,
and he wouldn't let her.
And
he wouldn't let her. She said, she told him she wasn't interested, but he kept being very persistent. And narcissists will do that. They'll find their victim, and they won't give up. I mean, they go after them, and you know what I'm saying.
Ooh-wee.
So yeah.
Wow. So with all my daughters, whenever I seen a cocky dude come, I'd be like, yep, no, here. I thought it was a bad attitude to have, but.
Wait, what now?
Well, whenever my daughters would meet a guy, I'd always be picky. I'd be like, okay, well, here's a stack of applications. Start filling them out, for each one of them. But yeah, I was really being hard on a bunch of the guys, I guess, when I shouldn't have been. I should have been more concerned about the quiet, submissive kind or the passive.
But I
kind.
mean, you can't say they're all like that.
I know.
But...
Yeah, I know. But I think I was. I was naive. I was looking at the wrong aspect of it, actually. But thank God they never met anybody like that, like it.
Some of the characteristics: sensitivity, low self-esteem, constraint, self-consciousness, shyness, social anxiety, the appearance of empathy, which he tried to pretend like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as well as shame and depression.
Please come home if you guys hear me.
Desperately needs to be involved with someone who was great or who was somebody in order to have a sense of self.
Really?
And then another thing they bring up about is about like their mother. They say a lot of narcissists come from a narcissistic mother, which is crazy. I mean, it could be a mother or a father, but for some reason, I don't know. It looks like the mother usually.
Really now?
I'm still looking into it because I wanted to do a little bit more research on it, but I don't know. So far with what I've been finding out, he does kind of look like maybe he is a covert narcissist, to be honest.
Well, yeah.
And so Shanann didn't have a chance. She didn't. And it's almost like if NK, see, I don't know enough about NK because we know more about Chris's personality because all the interviews had to do with Chris. So people were telling, the type of person Chris is. None of them had to do with NK but Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't really get a good idea just by her. We only had her interviews to go on, but we didn't get like about her character because the interviews weren't about her. So It's like we don't really know too much about her. Like, we just know by the interviews, but like, I don't know. I mean, you got to take into consideration those interviews are with freaking FBI agents, so that could, it kind of changed the way that she would normally act in a normal social setting. But maybe not though. Maybe, well, like her dad does say, he does give us a little bit of hint into her personality. Like she talks a lot. She's been like that since she's been younger. And then another thing like her, she said how Charlotte says. Even when NK's talking in that interview, how Charlotte says, well, I know you flirted with him at work, almost kind of saying like she flirts with guys at work all the time. It's a common thing, so I'm sure you flirted with him, so she must be the flirty type too.
Yep.
So
and she's filling him out. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But then you wanted to, do you have something you want to say? Because you wanted to say,
I'm just looking at some comments.
Okay, so guys, we are going to end this one. But actually...
Oh, I am so sorry. Oh, go ahead.
You're all right. So, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm going to do a little bit more research into Covert Narcissist. That is my degree, psychology. I graduated in 2009, so it's been a while. I got to kind of refresh my knowledge, but... as far
Dust
as
the
like
old cobwebs
narcissists,
out
yeah,
of
we
there.
study narcissists, but not like in depth, like, you know, unless if I was doing like a paper on a narcissist or whatever, which I never did. So yeah, you know, you touch base on all the disorders, but then in order to really get into each one in depth, you would have to kind of do your own research. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, you know, is because I want to know, like, is Chris really a narcissist or not? Like,
I'd like to
does
really
he
get
have
that.
any?
Because that's what makes me, you know, really want to keep digging on that too. Is because, like I said, man, the comments I go through, you see just wonderful people with children. What can I do? What can I look for? How can I? Yeah, I wish I could give you the answer.
Probably because, and everybody wants to know why, because we still don't know why. In his interview, I feel like it didn't give anybody any closure. It made so many more questions because I feel like he didn't give us crap, man. Like of the why, he didn't tell us anything.
No, he didn't.
And it just makes me mad because it's like the whole point was like I feel like they wanted to know why. Like everybody wants to know why. And I guess everybody wanted to know kind of how. And I guess he did answer that, whether that's the truth or not, like, you know, how it happened.
Yeah.
But also why it happened. I mean, so that's what I think they might go back and interview him again and try to figure out, well, why? You know, because all he says, it's basically like, oh, that it wasn't himself. That moment, it was just like he had no control. Something else or somebody else was controlling him. So do you think maybe he was hinting when he said he wasn't controlling, that he was hinting at something about NK, trying to tell us in like code, like, well, I didn't have no control because maybe somebody else did. I mean, I know I'm probably analyzing that too much, but probably not. But I'm just saying, like, gosh. But of course, for him to, you know, maybe he doesn't even know why, you know? Like, maybe he really doesn't realize why. Do you think that's it?
See, that's what I don't know yet. I just don't know. Not yet, I don't.
I mean, I guess he did tell us because of NK. He said if it wasn't for NK, he wouldn't have done it. So I guess just so he could start a new life with NK and not have to worry about. And then he kept saying how angry he was at Shanann, but he never gave a reason to why he was so angry at her. And that's what they were trying to keep getting at. Like, well, why are you angry at her? And he never really said.
Well, he kept using that. Well, you know, I can't be myself. I can't. You know, I want to do this or want to do that.
No, but that.
I mean,
that's not like something that would create anger in the moment, because she was like, you know, whatever her personality type was like that the whole 8 years. So like, what caused him that anger in the moment? Or was it slowly, or was he just a narcissist? He didn't care. And like I said, once he found his new victim, like, he didn't have no use for the old ones. And of course, if he is a narcissist, he's not going to admit that. So you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's not going to admit it, or even, I don't know. Because, so yeah, I don't think we're ever
with the duration of that phone conversation the night of the murders, I truly believe that is whatever they talked about that triggered that beast. And when she came home, that's all she wrote, man. That's, I mean, I don't know how it happened, but that's the only thing I can. That conversation.
You don't think it was a little more premeditated before that, though?
Yeah, but I mean, that action to actually kill somebody, you gotta go to a whole different level.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and to just freaking rocket and shoot
I was wondering
there.
if he just was preparing himself for all day, like getting in that mindset to be able to do something like that.
Bet you that phone call.
But he's, like I said, he's trying to say that it was just this thing that switched off in his head in the moment. But then he gives you little clues about how when he got on top of her, he's not sure. Maybe he realized that when he woke up that was going to happen. So it's almost like he's trying to tell us that he knew that, at least as far as in the whole morning when he woke up, that he was going to do that. Because, you know, instead of trying to admit it, because he's always worried about what people think of him. And that's another thing. Narcissists are always worried about what people think, because that's how they get their supply about what people think about them. You know, they want people, that's why they want to look like a good dad and they want to look like a loving husband because they get their supply off of others. So, of course, he's so worried.
He's got to look good.
Yeah, he's so worried. I mean, it's so obvious how he's so worried. Even that interview when he confesses where he's like, oh my God, don't have them look for the bodies because, oh my God, they're going to look what I did and be like, Chris, why didn't you call the cops? You know, like he was so concerned. And that was the most emotional he got was when they said that, you know.
And then NK tells him to delete your phone messages so your co-workers won't see it. She told
I think friends, she says, but
friends or co-workers.
Yeah, so
she made him just start thinking about how he would appear to other people right away.
But at least that's the reason she told the cops that she told him that. But what if it was more because there was some stuff in there that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think definitely.
But no, I mean, yeah,
Really
that was right there. It should make you think like, whoa, that's just not right. But he is very concerned, and that is really another huge characteristic of a narcissist. They are that their whole meaning of their life revolves around how other people see them. That is their whole, you know what I'm saying? That's what matters the most. It's the only thing that matters. So that's why they try so hard to mimic different things to appear like they're certain.
Yes, ma'am.
They're a certain they have certain characteristics of this great person that they really don't. So,
But that's awesome, Tiff. So I guess the best we can do right now for those dear viewers out there who are concerned about what they can do as parents, just be very observant. Observe and absorb. Seriously, retain it, learn from it, and just observe as much as you can. Seriously, just be very observant and just be good.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, guys. Well, until next time.
Yes.
We'll see you later.
Have a good one, guys. God bless.